Okay, so Union action phase, we're going to determine and resolve actions for Union regiments in attack track A, B, C, D, and E. We roll 1d6, 1 to 4 will be a move, possibly upgraded to a charge, 5 or 6 will be a volley with the option possibly of the sharpshooter action as well. We resolve actions for the foremost Union counters, then any Union counter in a rear attack position that is able to move forward will do so. So we're going to start here. So there's no Union regiment here in attack track A. So we're going to start with the 8th Ohio. They automatically select crouch and reform. So that's a cohesion check. 1 will be a success and they get a 5. So that's a failure. So they remove on cohesion, remain on cohesion 1. Okay, 69th New York. So 1 to 4 will be a move, and then we roll again to see if it's a charge. 5 to 6 is a volley. It's a 1, so we re-roll 1d6 again. 1 to 4 will be a charge, 5 or 6 a volley, and it's a 5. So they revert back to a volley. So let's go through the modifiers. So 69th has a cohesion of 4, -1 for smoke, no modifier for range. So 1 to 3 will be a hit. 1 will be a possibility of a sharpshooter action. We get a 2, so they do hit. And the 14th North Carolina is down to 3 cohesion. Okay, next, 7th West Virginia. So 1 to 4 will be a move, possibly upgraded to charge. 5 to 6 a volley. We get a 3. So re-roll, see if it's a charge. And it's a 3, so it is indeed a charge. Okay, so charge. Modifiers here. Sorry, there are no modifiers. We roll 1d6. We're going to do blue. So 1d6 plus cohesion. Yellow for the 4th North Carolina. So 1d6 plus cohesion. If the 4th North Carolina total is equal to or higher than the Union is -1 cohesion. If the Union is higher, it's -1 cohesion to the Union and the regiment, because the Confederates are defending a fixed position, so it's harder to get the charge in. So 1d6 plus 3 versus 1d6 plus 3. Blue is Union, Confederate yellow, we get. Okay, we won. Okay, so that was good. That's good news then. Okay, so 7th West Virginia is reduced from cohesion 3 down to 2. So that was just to make sure everybody understands. That's 3 plus 6 is 9, 4 plus 3 was 7, so we won. Okay, 29th Massachusetts. So 1d6, 1 to 4 is a move, possibly a charge, so we re-roll. Get a 1, so they will also charge. So you can see here, this may not work out to the way I want it to here. So 29th Massachusetts, it's 1d6 plus 4 versus 1d6 plus 3. Okay, let's see what we get. Okay, so they're going to win here. So that's going to be 6 versus 8. So that's a clear charge victory there for the Confederates, for the Union. So that goes down to from 3 down to 2. Again, it's unlikely at this point that that there are events to be worried about but with just one turn remaining, it's unlikely the 30th North Carolina is going to flip to its shattered side, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so that's all of the actions for the foremost Union counters. Here we've got this the 63rd New York. So this is a key roll. Okay, let me just make sure everybody is aware of what's going on. Because the 8th Ohio is crouching at cohesion 1, the 63rd New York is going to attempt to march through their lines or pass through their lines, in which case these counters will swap position. If that happens, there's no realistic way for me to inflict enough damage on the 63rd New York in order to be able to destroy it. And basically turn 20 becomes a formality. I'll still go through it if that's what happens. But there's no way for me to destroy an additional 2 Union counters in that case. Last turn, the 63rd New York did attempt to march, but they failed. So they get a +1 march token, which means it's 4 + 1. So the cohesion check will succeed on a roll of 1 to 5, which is not what we want. 6 is the only possible result that can save the game, and we get, I thought that was going to come up as a 6. Okay, it's a 4, so they do indeed swap places. So there's no way now for me to destroy the 8th Ohio. The march token will remove at the end of the turn, because this is cohesion 4 for 2. Maybe I can inflict damage on these guys, but 29th Massachusetts, it's still at 4. So the only reasonable target is this one, which will give me 7, but that's going to be below the 8 that is necessary. Okay, there's no rear Union regiment in attack track C. D1 cannot move forward. Their cohesion is 2. Cannot move forward, cannot move forward. So that's the end of the Union action phase. Remove exposed tokens, no exposed tokens. Union deployment phase, all the waves are in play, which brings us to the Confederate action phase. So 4d6, assign each result to one of the columns and select one of the actions available. So 4d6. Okay, that's actually looks like a good roll, but I think it's a bit too late in the game. So the 6s are good because they allow us to choose any action. And then we've got a 4 and a 5. 4 gives us reload and inspire. 5 gives us fire and reload. So let's just take a look. Okay, so we're going to play the game out. Again, I can't win at this point, but we're going to attack the 7th West Virginia. So we want to get as much firepower on them either this turn or the next. So I don't want to take, we've also got the smoke token to consider. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to play it safe. We'll reload here and we'll reload here. We will fire here. This is oblique fire, so it can't be we can't use exposed, but we're going to use oblique fire boosted. So that's gonna I'll go through the modifiers in a second. So yeah, that's the best we can hope for. So these guys reload, they turn back up 90 degrees. Mini ball value is reduced to they're going to reload, so this is going to come down to 0. I completely overlooked it. Yeah, well, there's nothing else to do. They're not in danger of being shattered. Okay, we'll flip those. No, that doesn't make sense. Let's go through the game properly. Okay, it doesn't make sense to do that. Okay, okay, we're going to swap these guys around. That's going to be 5 is a reload, which we've resolved. 4 will be an inspire. So that's a cohesion check. So 1 to 3 is a success plus 1 cohesion. Again, I don't think that there's any serious danger of them becoming shattered, but let's play the game out properly as make some good decisions. So cohesion check is 3, so it does succeed, and their cohesion goes back up to wrong token. So their cohesion does go back up to 4. So they're safe now in the last turn. Okay, and then here we're going to use oblique fire against the 7th West Virginia. So modifiers are going to be -1, +1 for range. Confederate range modifiers down here. -1 for oblique, +1 for boosted. So we're back to 2. Okay, devastating fire does not apply because the mini ball value is at 1. The mini ball value needs to be at 2 or higher. So a 2 will be a hit. Oh, we got it, and it would have been devastating fire. Okay, too bad. Okay, still, that's 1 hit there. That gives us a chance in the following turn. So that's going to be that goes down to 1. So there's a possibility here the 14th North Carolina could get a hit in there, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, so that's the action die resolve. 3 actions for 4 die. End of turn phase, we're going to remove the smoke token. And as these guys marched successfully, we also just tidy up and remove the march token. And that concludes turn 19. Doesn't look good at all for a possible draw, but we'll play it through anyway. So thanks a lot for watching, and see you in turn 20.